Hey everyone, my name is Brittany Kay, and I am the principal attorney at Anderson O'Neill LLC. Come join me at Trademark That Thursday Summit, where my masterclass will be on NFTs, what you need to know about legal risks and IP issues. The pandemic has spawned a new wave of digital developments, with NFTs being one of the top. NFTs are making their way into all aspects of law, including IP. Come learn about what NFTs are, intellectual property issues, and some of the most pressing legal issues regarding them. This summit is where you will be able to gain industry insights about NFTs and how they impact IP, as well as other impactful trademark secrets. Come network with some of the top IP practitioners in our field, and of course, try and get some of those sponsorship giveaways. Come meet me this weekend, April 29th and 30th at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, both days, at this amazing virtual summit. See you there. Hey, guys. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Okay, perfect. So, first of all, I want to let y'all know I have Invisalign in. So if you hear me tripping over my words, that's why. Because I can't speak properly. But hello, everybody. My name is Brittany Kay, and thank you for joining me here on Air Meet. Man, I want to know, like, are y'all full yet? Because this summit has been crazy, and chock full of goodness. Sonia, Christine, Takora, Roselia, Shahara, Vivian. So I really hope y'all are getting everything that you absolutely need and want to know from this summit. So it's actually a little weird being on this side because there's nobody to look at over here. So if y'all see me like looking around, it's because I have two monitors and I am like super short and I can't see the top of my monitor, y'all. So I'm trying to imagine an audience behind me, like using the skills that Vivian taught us yesterday, pan the audience. So So I want to just take a minute to thank Nina Spear Law and Trademark That Thursdays for allowing me to be here. I truly appreciate it. So while I'm pulling up my notes, on my side, I want to say that I'm happy to be here and I hope y'all get even a little something out of this because like NFTs are so important, and not only are they just like super cool, something to nerd out on, but they are truly hitting our market and challenging what we think is possible in the IP and digital realms. So, excuse me. Oh, appreciate you too. So without further ado, our roadmap today here is we're going to be discussing what an NFT is and why it matters, the IP issues such as licensing agreements and intellectual property infringement, and some other issues like the SEC. You know, the government, y'all. Sometimes they try to make things messy. And we will also touch on some of the most notable cases to watch in this space, especially because it's such a new area. Now, I have a little icebreaker. Put a 1 in the chat if you know what an NFT is. And y'all know I got to look like both ways. So let me know. Put a 1 in the chat if you know what an NFT is. Okay, I have a couple ones. But I mean, it was 3. So generally, but not like, like that's such a lawyer answer. I love it. Generally, but not like really. All right, so a non-fungible token. It is. So it is definitely time to nerd out because it seems like I need to let y'all know what NFTs are. So, right. Nina was right. So an NFT is a non-fungible token, but non-fungible tokens have actually been around since 2014. So for whatever reason, I'm sorry, y'all, I have this Halls or this throat breezer. Sorry about the branding because these allergies are out of control. But NFTs are non-fungible tokens, and they, like I said, they have been around since 2014, but they exploded during the pandemic. And I mean, I can only assume it's just because we were quarantined for a couple years and nobody really had anything else to do because we couldn't go outside. We were definitely on punishment. NFTs are a type of blockchain. They're pretty much anything that can be turned into a digital asset. So whenever you're thinking about that, think your art, your tweets, photos, songs, paintings, pictures, things like that. And they're minted. The ownership cannot be modified, which is great for us. The copyright stays with the owner. And sorry, y'all, I told you I had these couple screens. What did I say? The copyright stays with the owner. They are typically sold on the Ethereum blockchain, and that's a little bit important as well. And on that Ethereum blockchain, they are tracked. So due to that feature, it makes them super digitally unique. So that means that no two NFTs are ever digitally the same. And that's something that really comes that's really what makes the NFT because it's so digitally unique and because it's so important. Um, Sorry, let me get to these questions. I don't have I don't have questions waiting. I'm sorry. All right. I can answer any of the questions that are in the Q&A. Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. Okay. Thanks, Wailing. Um, so because no two NFTs are the same, that's something that makes them truly, truly unique. And that is what um, that creates that exclusivity of the NFTs and which causes them to skyrocket on the price. And since the NFTs are considered a creative work, it's protected by the copyright law. Or, this is a big or, the NFT itself could be a derivative work from a work that already happens to be copyright protected, and that's something that will come in handy later to remember. Just because some of these NFT creators are getting in trouble and they are being sued. So jumping back a little bit, I want to talk about what non-fungible means. And it basically means that the tokens are not interchangeable and they can't be exchanged for anything of comparable value due to their super unique properties, like I was discussing earlier. No two NFTs are digitally the same. Whereas if you have something that's fungible or a fungible token, that can be exchanged for something that is of like value because their value is rooted in being exchanged for something of like value. But like I said, because the any two NFTs are digitally not the same, there is no one for one exchange here. Now, minted, I did want to touch on that. Minted in this sense is not like printing paper money. I wish it was. I guess it kind of seems like these NFTs are printing paper money, except on the blockchain because the way they sell is crazy. But in this sense, minting just really means created. An NFT creator or an NFT creator minted an NFT. I guess it's a little cumbersome to say an NFT creator created. Who knows? But it's a tech world, so they they definitely want to be a little techie with their terms. How are memes sold? A question. How are memes sold as NFTs if it's to be unique, yet the images are all over the internet? Interesting. Um, and I will touch on that. However, I'll give you a quick version right now. So the memes are actually, whenever you created a meme, you created it on that specific platform. And the NFT creator did not create that meme. They didn't put it on the blockchain. They just put it on whatever post or whatever photo or whatever it was that they uploaded to that particular social media platform. Now, whenever the NFT creator creates a meme, they put it on, they work with a developer and then they put it into code, which is going to be on categorized as an NFT, but that is put on the Ethereum blockchain and sold. So there's a difference between just posting something online on a social media platform and creating the NFT, because the NFT is considered the original of whatever it was that particular creator posted. It has It has ownership rights and things like that. So I'm not saying the NFTs cannot be copied and put all over the internet, because they definitely can, and they are. I'm pretty sure y'all have seen a lot of them. And I was just talking about Ethereum, so you're probably like, all right, that's like, you went way left field. Let me explain that a little bit, because in order to know what the NFT is and how it's transported, you kind of have to know what the Ethereum is. And Ethereum, it's like technology that basically it functions as like open access to digital money and data friendly services that are accessible to pretty much everyone. If you can create a wallet, if you have access to internet, you can pretty much get on the Ethereum blockchain. It's a type of technology that enables a user to send crypto to pretty much anyone. And the big kicker here, and probably super, well, not probably, it is super important, that it's a programmable blockchain, which is vital to the NFT process. And I will tell you why. And it's super important because that technology allows the ownership to be tracked in a public ledger, similar to if you look up something on the USPTO, or you look up a trademark on the USPTO, you know who it belongs to, because the USPTO has information, their ledger, their ownership ledger, as to who created the registration, what company, all those things. So the programmable piece in the Ethereum blockchain acts as something similar to that, but their public ledger continues to update every single time the NFT is sold, transferred, whatever the case may be. So that ownership is always there, and you're always able to track the ownership. Nobody can come in and just start messing with stuff. So there's no like screwy ownership fights about who gave what to whom or when or anything like that. Something was written on somebody's napkin. None of that. The blockchain ledger clearly outlines who the NFT belongs to. Now, why is that important? Because NFTs are super new. There are no real rules around them. And y'all know the internet is crazy, like out of control. I'm on the internet, so I so yeah, I'm on the internet. Thank you, Nina. So, and like the question before, we've seen that anything can be created, everything can be stolen and or transferred. So just making sure that we can track things, making sure that we know who the owners are, is super important to NFTs being sold to their exclusivity. Why else is it important? Because they can, like I said, they can be sold on the blockchain for an insane amount of money, or anything else of value. And anybody can sell or make an NFT. You just have to meet the terms set out on the platform that are minting, and or that you are minting on and or creating on. Let me see here. Oh, she has my presentations. I try to be on brand. It would be on slide 4, the one that says time to nerd out, because that's what we're doing right now, like completely nerding out on tech terms, NFTs, why NFTs are important, and why having the programmable blockchain is important. There we go. I try to be on brand a little bit. Okay, so I was saying that, so we're on, I guess, number, that little third prong down there. They're sold on the ETH blockchain, and ETH is the abbreviation for Ethereum blockchain. So just in case y'all want to go ahead and look that up. So the NFTs that are sold, they can be used to, in some instances, create derivative works, or they could be created as a derivative work. and that's something that you really want to keep an eye on. Um, Something interesting that is that the digital asset that is sold, which goes back to the earlier question, can be copied and pulled from the internet, even though it is not the original. So that question kind of proves like, well, I guess it doesn't prove, but it goes to the conversation that a lot of people are having. They're like, NFTs aren't worth it. It's not worth spending the money on because I can just go and copy that photo, throw it on a poster or whatever, and then stick it on my wall. Totally understand that. And even in the physical realm, you can go copy a photo of something, put it on your wall, um, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have the original. And people are out here like spending stupid bank to own the original of these digital assets that could potentially take up some digital real estate somewhere in like the metaverse. I don't know if I'm supposed to be able to say that, but that's where they could potentially be taking up real estate. And honestly, I think maybe like upwards of about maybe 2+ billion was spent on NFTs in the first 6 months of 2021. Like that was billion, y'all, with the B, not like millions, like straight billions were sold. 2.5 billion on NFTs. I don't know who had 2.5 billion whenever I was stuck in the house in the first 6 months of 2021, but I mean, I could have minted some NFTs if they were paying that money. I think I was in the wrong job at that point in time. Oh man. But I just want y'all to know that because NFTs are just opening doors for so many more content creators who could potentially be our clients. So yay for us. But get out here, protect these artists, creatives, and go get that money. So one of the uh-oh. Okay. If IP is country specific, digitally, how can you enforce it against a foreigner? Is it blocking the sale or use within the registered countries? Yeah, good question, Shayla, or Shayla, right? I hope I said it right. And that's actually on one of the issues that I talk about for us as IP professionals, because NFTs are they're U.S. protected. There are some issues that are occurring overseas, and they can't. We can't really enforce the U.S. rules about the NFTs in another country because it's still so new here. We haven't even had our own settled law. So one could say that, or they could try to prosecute in another country that this is infringement, but we would need to know how that other country is viewing NFTs, the protection on NFTs, and things like that. Because the DeFi, the blockchain, all of these digital assets is something that everybody is just now just trying to get into and to try and regulate. So, and speaking of regulation, thank you for that question. I want to touch on how they're sold and tracked. So NFTs are sold with what are called smart contracts. That is their quote unquote regulation, so to speak. Um, but really, what it is it's coding that is developed into the blockchain. And smart contracts are essentially they contain like the T's and C's, the terms and conditions, if you will, which may address pricing, royalties for the creator of the NFT, how many times it can change hands. Pretty much the smart contracts can dictate any terms that you want the NFT to carry. Because remember that smart contract is built into that blockchain. So every time it changes hands, that person who is a purchaser gets that smart contract, and they get to, and those terms go with that person. But one keynote to remember about the NFTs, even though it may change hands a couple times, is that only the only transfer. So whenever you have an NFT, The only transfer is that digital record to the buyer. So when the NFTs are based on physical items, such as like movies or purses, albums, the rights to the actual products are not sold with the NFT. Only the digital asset itself is being sold. So that is a problem that a lot of NFT purchasers are getting confused about, and this is spawning some legal issues. Like, it's crazy. Oh my gosh, that was one slide, y'all. Sorry, it's Nerd City over here. It's Nerd City. um, it is. Thank you, because it's like so interesting, and it's a whole new world that we don't even know about. So I love it. But now we're getting to the good stuff. Like, why is this our problem? Yes. Just because it is our problem. Like everything, we're attorneys. People think everything is our problem. Um, but protecting artists, trademark owners, creatives, and NFT purchasers in the NFT space is something that we are going to have to start doing more of. So I really, really, really want y'all to be on the lookout for those keyboard kins, copy Karens that are going to try and copy your client's mark and turn them into a digital asset. And if your clients are thinking about trademarking, let them know that these are some new issues that are coming out in the metaverse, in the digital space. So if they want to protect their mark, they need to do it and need to do it now. So some fun stuff though, is that the first copyright and trademark infringement cases on NFTs came out in late 2021. I think there was one maybe like mid 2021, but it didn't really get any traction until like late 2021, and some earlier this year. But since it's such a novel issue, there, like I said, there's no settled law on this at all. Here are some cases. Yeah, here are some cases that I'm watching that are in this space, and I'm pretty sure y'all can just Google this real quick, or because there's a bunch of opinions out there on this. Everybody has an opinion on what NFTs are, what they're not, who has rights for whatever. But it's just really interesting to see different perspectives from different categories, from different folks, as to from the private citizen, the business owner, the NFT creator, the purchaser of the NFT, and the government. So I just really, really love this space. But let me tell y'all about a couple of these cases. The first one I'm going to touch on is a Rockefeller case, Rockefeller Records versus Dame Dash. So I think Dame was probably just trying to keep himself relevant. Maybe not. I mean, maybe not. I'm joking. Don't. Can you censor that part? um, no, but what Dame did was he ended up minting and trying to sell an NFT of the Reasonable Doubt record. However, the NFT sale, their smart contract stated that it would provide ownership of the album's copyright, transferring all the rights to the future revenue generated from the album to Dame, from Dame to the NFT winner. So whenever I read it, I had to do a double take, because y'all know Hove is not letting anyone sell the rights to anything of his. Like, I don't understand, because the kicker is that Dame didn't even own the copyrights to Reasonable Doubt. So how is he selling something that wasn't his? Like, I don't know. I'm very, very interested in this case. So the court is going to have to do some interpretation of what Dame meant whenever he was trying to sell the NFT with somebody else's copyrights or something. Or he is going to have to let us know what he meant, because there was no clear distinction as to if he was selling all of the copyrights to Reasonable Doubt, any of his copyrights to Reasonable Doubt, anything like that. It just said that the winner will get all of the copyrights, or the winner will get copyrights to the Reasonable Doubt revenue. So we'll see. That's an interesting one to me. Um, Lest he get caught in an elevator. But that's not my business. Don't kick me out. So the next case we have here, yeah, I have 3 cases. Like I said, I have to see a couple of screens, y'all. So sorry. It's the Mason Rothschild case. So Mason is an artist who created some NFTs, and he called them the Meta Birkin. I don't know. I don't know why people like. I do know why they want to imitate brands or try to copy brands because they know the brands sell. So, imitation is the best form of flattery. I guess that is, how it works. But these days, if you're going to be an imitator, I think you need to check your pockets. Just saying, because I think our jobs here are to protect our clients and make sure our brands are protected. So, but Mason decided to create some NFTs, and he named him the Meta Birkin. And y'all know Hermes was not happy about that. So the issue was his NFTs were based off of the Birkin bag, but his NFTs had this like furry front surface to them, rather than like the smooth, beautiful leather that the Birkin bags normally have. So he was saying that his NFTs, they were art. That's pretty much it. I mean, and his art sold for like 45K, or I think over 45K. I can't remember the actual amount, but it was like one of them was over 45K. Just ridiculous. And his total sales were like a million. His total, yeah, I'm still on that slide. His total sales were over $1 million. So it was insane. But they filed a complaint against Mason, and they were saying, probably rightfully so, that he was infringing on their trademark, the trade dress, trademark dilution, and misappropriation. So, and there were a bunch of other claims under the Lanham Act. So this is a case if you do have, or if you do ever file in the TTAB or in Supreme Court, I think this is probably a good case to watch so that, and this is in New York, so you'll be able to pull some good case law from. I definitely will have this one on my radar for sure. So if you have not already brushed up on your Lanham Act claims, but like I said, Mason was claiming that his NFTs were not infringing because they were art. He's like, no, not really. My work is inherently different because it's a digital asset, and I named it Meta Birkin. Didn't Christine just touch on that and why that could possibly be an issue? He didn't have a good IP attorney, so I don't know. I guess I blame them. Look, Nina, like I don't know about the audience, but this like is so. I don't know. I just love it. I love it. I love it. And if I wasn't, yeah, I love it. I love it. But like he named it Meta Birkin, and I'm like, if you had an IP attorney who knew the basics of doing a search, hint, hint, because what Christine just talked about, what Sonia talked about, what Rosalia talked about, all of these things, you need to be able to take a search and let your client know you probably shouldn't create a name called Meta Birkin. Just saying. You might end up with an office action, or you might end up with a cease and desist. However, Mason was like, that's me. I'm going to try it anyway. So, and he did. He definitely tried it. And he said that we as general consumers would not be confused because he's only offering art and he's offering it on the online platform as an NFT. So, I don't know. I guess we have to see what the average consumer is as per the court, or we have to see what his evidence is and what the court says as to what infringement actually is. So I'm just, these things excite me. I love these cases. Another case I like is Nike versus StockX. I didn't even know what StockX was. So like this was super cool. And I hadn't heard about it a lot even whenever I did. So I mean it's just surprising because I mean it's Nike. Like Nike is everywhere. So I guess. But essentially, StockX is an online retailer, and they created some sneaker NFTs, which goes with the theme of their brand, their market, their online store. But they created the NFTs using the Nike logo. Just you can't make this stuff up. But they created the NFTs with the Nike logo. And what they did was they used the NFTs to advertise which Nike sneakers they have in stock or that they're selling. So I don't know. I thought it was creative. We'll have to see if the NFTs are being looked at differently as opposed to like a photo in a flyer, a magazine to say, hey, this is what is for sale. I don't know. It's interesting because StockX is not. You don't purchase the you don't purchase the NFT for that particular Nike sneaker on StockX's platform to get the sneaker. You still have to purchase the actual sneaker, but they're using that just to show which one of these sneakers are, I guess, in rotation or what they have. So that one is just like super, super cool because I don't know. Is it considered a form of advertising, brand advertising, and how is that different from, being able to put a brand's photo in your magazine? I don't know, like Target, because you see what's available at Target for that week. So this one is crazy good to me. I love the other ones, but this one is just like wow, what like how do I have my clients market their NFTs if that's what they're going to do with these NFTs to show what is in stock? So I don't know. I love it. I love it. I love it. This one is in federal court in New York, so keep an eye out on that one too. If that's just what you want to do. Um, let's see here. Um, I forgot about one more. I see it's not on there. Quentin Tarantino. Like, I love me some Quentin Tarantino movies, but he's creating an NFT for his handwritten script of Pulp Fiction. I love Pulp Fiction. So if there were an NFT and I had enough money, I would probably bid on it. And Miramax, they're like, no. So they ended up trying to sue him. Not trying, they did. Miramax is saying that his offering of the NFT would infringe on their copyrights. I'm like, wait, how? Because he created it, so he owns it, right? It is his written material, it's his written work, it's a tangible item, right? So, I mean, it's just this one is mind blowing too. But because y'all know the movie was like made in 1994, but what Tarantino, I don't know that he could have known to put digital tokens or licensing to digital rights to digital tokens in his licensing agreement for these reserved rights back in 1994. So I don't know if they were thinking of all of these possibilities back whenever they made these classic movies. And this one here is probably going to be monumental because of that. So it's crazy because Miramax is saying they're like, no, we have all the rights in the script and the movie to include NFTs, and only Miramax can have the rights to publish or distribute the film. And they are saying that they have all of the rights in all media from back then to now. So I guess we need to look at the language of the contract. So I don't know. So that I guess that would mean, you need to be on your P's and Q's with these licensing agreements, with these reserved rights, with transferring all of the rights or from your clients because you don't are they Miramax or are they Quentin Tarantino? Did they create the work and then they sold it? They created the work and then they licensed it? And if they licensed it, what rights do they reserve? How forward thinking do you have to be whenever you are looking at these agreements, looking at the rights that your client has and how they want to monetize them? And what if there's something else that we don't think about in, I don't know, 25 years? I don't know. How do you even incorporate that into your license in 2022? Your license from 1994. How do you amend that? And, it's just those things that I think it's hard to conceptualize. Maybe not so much now, but back then I'm pretty sure it was hard to conceptualize that a script would be made into a digital asset to be sold on, some sort of internet type financials. It just was not in their mind. So looking at these agreements, it's something that we need to consistently be doing. So, the licensing agreements that Shahar touched on yesterday, just make sure that you are just like thoroughly vetting them from here on out. Like, I want you to be on the lookout to either include or exclude any digital assets, any form of digital assets that can be made by anybody else as part of those agreements. Because, your clients could possibly be in either one of the positions, the plaintiffs or any of the defendants mentioned. I'm just very interested to see how Tarantino is treated, because I feel like Tarantino could be any of our clients. I'm speaking that one. But Tarantino could be your artist, your painter, your photographer who licensed out their work, and then there's a derivative work made from it, or there's something else that was made, but we weren't able to see it today, so we couldn't protect our client effectively in the future. And for me, like, something like that would be a little hard to take. So it's like, man, I should have known. But should you really though? I don't like. I don't know. I like how forward thinking are we supposed to be as practitioners? Do we want to just have these are all of your rights for all times? Some people do, I assume. Like super brands, Disney and things like that. But for your average, um, your average client, I don't think that that's something that would maybe not necessarily fly in an agreement, but at some point, is that brand actually going into perpetuity? We would want to think so, but we don't know. So I don't know. That one's just super interesting. They're all super interesting. I just, I don't know. I don't have a favorite. I just love them all. I just know Quentin Tarantino popped into my head, and that's one that y'all need to look at. So, and I'm trying to stay on task. I have my little blinkers coming up saying, stay on task, you're running out of time. So we can flip to the next slide. If there are any government folks in here, I apologize first. I'm not going to talk bad about y'all, but every time the government gets involved in something, like I get little prickly hairs, because then we start seeing a lot of litigation, a lot of opinions and things like that. So one of the last big issues, that we're going to talk about here, even though like this topic is insane and this can go so many different ways. But I want to talk about the SEC, because SEC can be considered a very big risk in this realm. And yes, I said the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission. And you're probably like, what? Like, you mean the USPTO? No. I mean the SEC. Yeah. I don't know. Whenever I say that, I don't know. I just think of handcuffs. I don't know. I don't know why. I just do. I think of handcuffs, and they just seem like super scary to me. So, but the big issue with the SEC is that because it's such unsettled law, folks don't really know how to handle these NFT sales. Like, you have some buyers thinking that the NFTs are investments, so that makes them investors once they purchase. But you also have these other people, no names, but y'all can Google them, um, who are just purchasing NFTs for fun or creating NFTs for fun just because they have so much money to blow. And like, if y'all are giving loans, like, or just grants, if that's what you want to do, like, I can create some NFT. I'm just saying, like, yeah, some of them are just, some people are, the way that they view these NFTs are not the same. So how do you distinguish between a person that is investing in an NFT for a specific reason, one of the myriad of reasons, or how do you distinguish that from someone who is just purchasing the NFT just because they have a lot of money and they just want to do it? So that's just it's just something that's a little bit tricky, and that is why the SEC is an issue, because they believe that the NFTs could be classified as securities for certain companies. So that throws an entirely new monkey wrench in the whole world of IP and crypto and how we handle the work for our clients. I do understand that there has to be regulation, but I think that tiptoeing into this world of classifying securities for certain companies or um, just certain companies, period, as opposed to others, like, that's a whole world that I don't know if we necessarily want to go into, because we already have something for that, and we're still trying to figure out how to settle the crypto issue. So I'm just not sure that the SEC should intervene at this point in time, if at all. But if at this time, I just don't think that it's a good time. But what they want to do is they want these companies and or individuals to analyze, whether or not their coin offerings, and whenever I say coin, think, sales or distributions of digital assets. They want them to think and analyze if their offerings have any characteristics of a product that meets the definition of a security under the federal securities law. What client is thinking about that whenever they are trying to create these NFTs? Sometimes they might just be thinking, I want to make some money. I want to show my creativity. Like, I don't know if a client is like, is this a securities? Does this meet securities definition? I don't know. Like, that's the furthest thing from their mind. So why would we make them have this additional task to show their creative side? Why would we put this additional barrier on them to not be able to get their work out? I don't agree with the way that it is being captured right now. So it's something that you should definitely look into, because it will impact a lot of your clients who are looking to try and either create or sell NFTs. It's something to just really, really look at and get with an SEC attorney on, because there's what is it? They have a couple of security definitions, but the main one that they're focusing on is the investment contract. I saw that it just kind of I kind of got off track. Um, but the SEC is using the elements in what they call the Howey analysis to try to determine what is and isn't considered an investment contract. So they're using the Howey analysis, and they're also saying that it's not a fully exhaustive list to determine whether or not your client's NFTs are considered investments or investment contracts. So where are we supposed to go with that? How are we supposed to advise our clients? Okay, well, this is what the SEC is saying. We're not entirely sure if they're going to consider it an investment contract. Maybe if they do, this is what we do. as attorneys, we can prepare our clients for things that we're thinking may or may not happen in the future. But I think this is too unsettled for us to be able to try and draft that into any of the agreements, into any of the smart contracts. And I think that it is, like I said before, it's a little bit too early for them to even jump in, because all of this is still fresh. It's still new. Like, these cases just started popping up for real in 2021. Like, that was a couple of months ago. So I think it's just a little too early for them. So, you know, since they're still analyzing these on a case by case basis, just please keep your ears to the ground on that. I'm not a securities lawyer, so I can't even begin to try and analyze the Howey test, but I will say that the way that the SEC is viewing the digital offerings are critical, because if these NFTs are considered investment contracts, like, we as IP attorneys, we need to be working a lot more closely with securities attorneys to ensure that our clients are not breaking any securities laws and that we're not advising them incorrectly. Now, we can jump to the last. Yes, here we go. Lastly, this is where I want to focus on some strategies and best practices for addressing NFT challenges and risks. Really, first and foremost, keep your client base informed about the importance of protecting their IP. Because I know every time I see something on Nina's page, she lets you know the information, and then she'll say, "Don't say I didn't tell you," or "Don't say I didn't tell you." Make sure they know, because we don't want to have to explain this later on down the road. Like, we told you. We told you this is a problem, or we told you this is an upcoming issue. I told you that NFTs were on the rise. I told you. I told you. So you need to be prepared for this, because we are prepared for this, or we are getting prepared for this. So just make sure that they are well informed about protecting their IP. And like Shahara talked about yesterday, get those licensing agreements in order, look at them forwards to backwards, like I said before. And if you need to amend, ask to amend, because you don't want to be put into a litigation where, like Quentin Tarantino, if you can try and fix it right now, then go ahead and try and do that. I'm pretty sure your clients would much rather you go ahead and amend this contract, because metaverse is getting crazy, as opposed to going to litigation later on down the line because of something that we could have done here in agreement. And let's see, what else do I say? What'd she say? Because Rihanna just... Oh yes, the makeup lines need to be considered. The makeup lines, the skincare lines. What I don't know if I've seen an NFT for perfumes, but there might be one. I have seen one for makeup lines, skincare lines, because what they're filing in the USPTO is not only trademarks for the line itself, but they are also filing that trademark for that digital space, that digital, I won't say digital currency. They may be filing for some financial, but that digital space, that internet, that game, those things, that is, that is what they're putting on their application. So just keep that at the top of your mind whenever you are filing for these. Keep it at the top of head whenever you are looking at having a client who is an NFT creator or an NFT purchaser. So, and just to touch on that, if you do have clients that are selling NFTs, make sure that you vet the developer, because the developer is the one who is coding the smart contracts. So you have to make sure that they are coding the contracts correctly, because that's the vehicle that will control the rights that your client potentially has or does not have due to a broken smart contract. So it, I know it's hard and it might take a little bit more work, but please make sure that you are uh, vetting your developers for sure. Make sure the clients are policing their brand and let them know of the risks in the digital space, period. Lastly, follow up on the cases closely. Right now, like I said, we don't know how the courts are leaning. So keeping up with these groundbreaking decisions will have super, super important impact on our work. And I think I have a quote, and that is it. Let's see. What? Why is it? Why? What are some good resources you recommend for learning and coming up to speed for someone looking to possibly add this to their practice? Um, Really some links, and but most I would probably recommend. There are some Discord groups, there are some Facebook groups, and now you'll start to see a lot of bigger companies that offer CLEs start touching on NFTs and cryptos. I can tell you offline who I typically use, but they have a couple of hours are of good resources on NFTs and on crypto. And that is so that's just a quote that I found, randomly, and but I truly believe it. The value of art and equity in a brand in the digital world, it's about to be revolutionized, and it's so great that we are in a time like this that we get to participate in that revolution. So, yeah, that's it. I'm open for questions. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Awesome. Brittany, girl, I didn't even interrupt you because I had no questions. Like you, I
I was
mean,
trying to pull
like
it all in
you
and be a
you
real nerd.
gave me the trademark that Thursday's energy for NFTs, and I am very proud of you because like you've been working so hard, and I think you found your niche. This is like truly your niche, and the way you just explained it, so like you didn't rush, you didn't push through, like you literally just explained it like you would if I came to you at your kitchen or at your house, which again, I'm gonna really try to come to Atlanta on Sunday, so if y'all are in Atlanta, please hit me up, because even though my people canceled on me, I still might find the wherewithal to drive my butt down there because I need a spa after all of this. So
Yes,
definitely,
I
if I
got
can
you. I
convince,
got you.
if I can convince somebody to go with me, cool. If not, I might stay the night with you and then go back to Birmingham in the morning. But I kid you not, like I'm literally so proud of you. Like this is your thing, and I hope that you continue to grow this and you really make this into like a course or something one day, because I was literally like, I'm not usually a quiet person. You know me, I'm asked 55,000 questions. If I'm quiet, I'm soaking everything in. And I'm
Oh,
just like, literally, I was like, Brittany, put your presentation on the screen. They ain't gonna be able to get this. I can get this, but everybody got to see it. They got to see it. And as soon as they could visually see it, I think it started gelling for a lot more people, and they could see just how clear you made it on your presentation. But I put it in y'all's presentation asset folders, so y'all have access to that same presentation. And literally, you have access to her contact information in there as well. So please, y'all, just think about the things that you want to do with your business, your practice. You can always develop a niche. You can literally develop a niche within NFTs for specific types of NFTs. So literally, she just gave you the game on NFTs in general. And if y'all know and have been attending these sessions, guess what? She's got a one-to-one session up for the sponsor giveaway. So if you've been doing what you're supposed to do, you might actually win one of these. So I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there. Do what you're supposed to do to come to these CLEs. We like to give away things to incentivize you to come because we know they boring. We know they can be boring sometimes if you don't have some type of incentive. So sometimes you don't like all the material, sometimes you don't like all the info. But I'm gonna stop running my mouth, and Brittany, leave them with a challenge. Give them a challenge that you want them to take away from your talk. And then I'm gonna have Waylene take us out so we can hear our bop because we bopping.
I was bopping whenever I came on. So my challenge for you all would be to just stay true to your passion. And it took a minute for me to figure out where my sweet spot was in trademark law, and it was actually rooted in tech law. So I implore upon you to just try and find your passion within trademarks. Trademarks are, they're super vast, but once you find that sweet spot, like, yes, it is a great, great, great place to be. Y'all see how crazy I just got deep into that, and like I had a whole other hour. So like, I'm telling you, just find that sweet spot, and you got it.
Waylene, take us out. We need our bop. We love it, Brittany. Also, will you please hit up my old virtual moderator intern? She wants to go into legal tech. Please and thank you. You,
Yes,
you, you, you,
ma'am.
you you might have literally stumbled upon the thing that she wants to do
Girl,
at this time.
look, the formula item created. Okay. Sonia already said I was gonna be on Forbes, so I got it. I got it.
You do.
International trademark specialist.
You do.